What's up, fight fans? There's a big fight in 2 weeks. Gennady Golovkin versus Canelo Alvarez. I think you might have heard of it. A middleweight fight. Everyone's saying it probably. Everyone's saying it's probably the biggest middleweight fight since Hagler Hearns. Calm down. Calm down. Stop it right there. Stop. It's not that good, but it's a big middleweight fight nonetheless. There is another middleweight title fight on that same night. Between a guy that's been called out Golovkin recently and a guy that was in there against Golovkin. So it'll be interesting to see. Billy Joe Saunders versus Willie Monroe Jr. I've done a couple of videos on Billy Joe Saunders recently saying, is he serious, is he not serious, is he gonna get serious? Obviously we know he's switched trainers now. He's now with the Ingle camp, who Ingle notoriously is a very good strength and conditioner. I don't think he's a good boxing coach, but I think he's more good at getting guys on the weight, getting them down to their weights, and I think we've seen that with Kell Brook recently, haven't we? I don't know how the fuck he got Kell Brook down to 147 after being that heavy, but he obviously can get you down to the weight, and I think he's worked his magic on Billy Joe Saunders. We've seen recent photos released of Billy Joe Saunders looking in great shape, and I was critical of those photos, and I explained why I was critical of those photos. I'm 110% not an athlete. Absolutely not an athlete. It's just not my thing. Do I like to stay in shape? Yeah, I go to the gym a bit sometimes. Sometimes I can put in a bit of pounds. Sometimes I go to the gym. Most time though, I really try and look after myself. I don't eat shit. Now and again. I have a couple of drinks now and again, but mostly, I'd say about 90% of the week, I am eating quite healthy. And the other 10%, I am eating whatever the fuck I want. I'm not an athlete. I don't get paid. It's not my job to do that. It's just a bit of vanity more than anything. Billy Joe Saunders is an athlete. Boxing is his life. He's been boxing since, I don't know, he was how old, 9 years old or whatever. He is a decent boxer. He's unbeaten. He was a good amateur. Why is everyone applauding the fact that he's in shape? Your job is to stay in shape. The best possible shape you can, because that will aid your performance, that will aid your longevity. But everyone's applauding him like, oh, he's in shape and oh, he's going to do so well. I'm looking at it like, jeez, is this what it's got to now? We're applauding fighters whose job is to box and stay in shape. We're applauding them for being in shape. So that was my one issue with it. Am I happy that he's finally got a strength and conditioner after all these years and he's not having to do it himself? Absolutely. Do I wonder why it's taken so long? I don't know. So I guess immediately there's a discipline problem there. Immediately. People might criticize me for that, but it's true. If you're having to be almost watched like a kid, so you don't eat the Snicker bar in the fridge when you shouldn't eat the Snicker bar in the fridge, that's kind of, you got a discipline problem there. But hopefully he works on some things. But this is a very tough fight for him. This is a very tough fight. Let's be honest, he looked crap against Akavov. Was it Akavov or Arkavov in his last outing? I know there was a big gap between Andy Lee and that fight. There's been a few pullouts as well. So I think, look, it's an opportunity to take a scalp. It's an opportunity to beat someone that is in the top 10. The middleweight division isn't stacked for me. And this is an opportunity to beat someone in the top 10. And if you do well against Willie Monroe, then there's a potential for you to get Golovkin after. And I think Golovkin beats Canelo. And then there's a chance to maybe unify the titles. Who knows? You could shock the world. But first you got to get rid of Willie Monroe. The thing about Willie Monroe is this. He can't punch. We know that. His punch KO percentage record is bad. And the guys that can't punch notoriously can box. He can box a bit. And the thing about him, he's been busy. He's always in shape. I watch him. I think, sparring against him and Errol Spence, or was it him and Spence, or him and Charlo, looked in shape, looked good, looked as though he was handling himself very, very well. And this is a guy that looks like, look, he's been in there with Golovkin. And in his mind, I know people say he quit in that fight, but in his mind, not even quitting against Golovkin, by the way. In his mind, he's thinking, you're Billy Joe Saunders. I've been in there with arguably the best middleweight in the last 10 years. You're Billy Joe Saunders. You're nothing compared to him. And there's nothing you're going to show me that I haven't already seen by someone that is arguably a better boxer than Billy Joe Saunders, arguably tougher than Billy Joe Saunders, everything better. Golovkin ticks probably every box that Billy Joe Saunders doesn't tick. I think Billy Saunders might have a bit better movement than him, but other than that, he's seen it and been there with the great. So he's looking at Billy Joe Saunders like easy food, which isn't true. Billy Joe Saunders is a fantastic fighter, but that's how Monroe's probably going to be looking at it. Billy Joe Saunders has got to be in his A game here. I still feel like Billy Joe Saunders is living off the Eubank Jr. win, which was very, very close. I think he clearly won the first 6, and I think Eubank Jr. won the last 6. And the Andy Lee performance, which was very, very good. Again, and I'll say this, and I don't mean to be harsh, Andy Lee wasn't a killer. Andy Lee wasn't a killer, but regardless, I think the performance Billy Joe Saunders done against him was absolutely fantastic. Great performance. But I think he's living off that, and now he's got to move on. He's got to move on, and I hope that he's serious, and I hope that he's trained his arse off, because he might need it against Willie Monroe. Willie Monroe is a good boxer, and he's coming here to win. He's not coming here to fall over. Billy Joe Saunders talks a lot about these Albanian cab drivers that other people seem to be fighting. Willie Monroe definitely isn't an Albanian cab driver. He is a very skillful American boxer. Is he world elite? No. Is Billy Joe Saunders world elite? No. So it's a good matchup for me. I expect Billy Joe Saunders to win. I expect him to win on points. I don't expect him to stop Willie Monroe Jr., but I do expect it to be very, very difficult early on. And then I expect him to start catching Willie Monroe and then almost demoralising Willie Monroe Jr. Look, he's going to get booed from the time he walks out. He's going to get booed at the weigh. He's going to get booed every single punch that he misses. Everything that Billy Joe Saunders misses or lands will get a massive cheer, and that can be demoralising. And I don't expect him to handle that well. I think this could be Willie Monroe Jr.'s first trip or first fight abroad as well. If so, how will he handle that? Billy Joe Saunders does have a loyal fan base, and I think they'll make themselves heard the night of the 16th. I think it's at the Copper Box. Anyway, Billy Joe Saunders to win, and him to fight Golovkin in March for all the belts, and that should be a big one. Peace.